Yoga Plus. Download now for free.
These postures will really help bring balance back into your body and release tension from those areas. So whenever you're ready, we'll start at the top of the mat. So we'll start with a few cat-cows. So bring your palms about a foot in front of your knees, and you can go ahead and spread your knees to hip distance apart. Make sure that your feet are disappearing when you look back. They should be in line with your knees, and your wrist should be right underneath your shoulders, and your spine should be nice and level and neutral in a strong line of energy from the crown of your head to your tailbone. And just take a few breaths in this tabletop position. And whenever you're ready, we'll come into our first cow position. On your inhale, you'll drop the abdomen, arching the back and looking up toward the ceiling, bringing some curvature into your low back. And on your exhale, you'll round up, bringing your chin to your chest. Inhale, drop the abdomen, look up, arching the back into cow. And exhale into your cat pose, bringing your chin to your chest. Inhale, back up into cat. And on your exhale, round the spine, tucking the tailbone and bringing the chin to the chest. And inhale, back into cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale into your cow pose. Exhale into cat. We'll do a few more of these cat-cows with your own breath. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling into cow, awakening your spine. Finding movement and releasing pressure. Bringing balance between the two opposite postures, extending the spine and flexing the spine. And we'll take one more round. And come back to your neutral spine. And we'll step back straight into our downward dog. Welcome to pedal the heels out. Keep a bend in the knees, pressing firmly into the palms, letting your inner upper arms align with the ears, getting a nice stretch through the back of the legs. If you find a spot that needs some extra love, you can stay there for a minute. When you're ready, find stillness in your down dog. And take 3 deep breaths right here. Let the neck release, relaxing the muscles at the base. Kind of find some spots in your neck that might need some attention. One more breath here. And on your inhale, you'll find your feet back in between your palms, stepping in to a halfway lift. And on your exhale, forward folding. You can bring a bend to the knees, grab opposite elbows, and kind of just ragdoll sway side to side. Can feel really good throughout the spine to just let it all go and kind of just let gravity do its job. You can shake your head yes and no, breath. You'll come back up into your halfway lift and step back into your plank pose. And from here, we'll lower down either knees first or just straight into chaturanga and come into a gentle up dog. Another great back bend for the lower spine, opening the chest and broadening the shoulders. And on your exhale, press back into downward facing dog. And from here, you'll bring your knees down. Swivel your hip to the right and bring your feet in front of you as we do our first twist, Marchasana C. So we'll start with our right leg. Grab with both hands on the ankle and bring your foot in about 4 inches from your buttocks. And use your left hand to get you into a twist. If you can reach your elbow, and you can bring your hand up like this. And if you want a deeper twist, you can bring your arm around and really twist into that space. And just take a few breaths here, massaging the digestive organs, getting a nice deep twist in the spine. And try to keep your breathing relaxed. And your shoulder away from your ear. Finding the nice rotation of the spine to release some tension around the muscles. And we'll stay here for 3 breaths. And on your inhale, come back into neutral, and we'll go to the opposite side, using your hands to bring your left foot into this position. And this time you'll take your right hand, either grab your knee like this, or you can take your elbow to the back of your knee for a more active twist, using your left hand to stabilize yourself and twisting deep into those muscles of the spine. You're welcome to keep your neck neutral, or you can look back and also get that rotation of the neck if that feels good. And just sink into this posture. Releasing the muscles of the spine. And we'll take 2 more breaths here. And on your inhale, we'll come back to center and release the leg back. And we'll cross the legs at the ankle and lower the knees, coming back into a tabletop position. And we'll counterbalance that with just a couple rounds of cat-cow again to neutralize the spine and come back into balance. So you'll drop the abdomen and look up into your cow. Exhale, coming into your cat. Inhale into your cow. Exhale around the spine into your cat. And lower back down, and we will swing our legs behind us, coming in to Sphinx pose. So make sure that your feet are directly behind you and your elbows are about the length of your forearm apart, palms placed firmly into the earth, and your pelvis resting on the mat as well. So the action that we're looking for here is to draw your body forward, creating a curve in the low back. So pretend that you are physically dragging your body and lifting the chest, spreading the shoulders to feel that stretch, that extension in the spine. And we'll just stay here for 3 breaths in the Sphinx pose. You'll just roll over onto your back, and from here you'll take your right ankle and place it on your left knee, coming into this kind of figure 4 position. And you'll take your right hand and thread it through the little space in between your legs. You can take your left hand and grab hold of the wrist, interlace your fingers, and kind of just pull your left leg back, creating some space and some stretch in your outer hip. And you can kind of play with rolling from side to side. Getting a massage on the lower back can also feel really good to do that. And if you're looking for a more active thread the needle pose, you can grab elbows, get even more stretch in the outer hip area, and just take a few deep breaths there. This thread the needle is really good for opening up the hips and releasing tension from the lower back as well. And you're welcome to stay in this posture for as long as you like. It can be restful. We'll just take a few breaths here. You're welcome to pause the video if you would like to stay longer. Switch to the other side. You can kind of stretch the legs out, stretch the arms out for a second, and whenever you're ready, you'll take the left leg and place the ankle on your right knee. And keep in mind that some sides may be different depending on the day or the time, so be gentle with yourself when you're coming into this pose. Maybe you can't go as deep on one side, and that's completely okay. So you'll do the same thing. Take your left hand and thread it through that space in between your legs, and grabbing their left hand with the right, and just pulling the right leg towards you and getting the deep stretch in the outer hip. And if you'd like this to be a little more active, you can grab elbows, stretch a little deeper in to that left hip flexor. Rock a little from side to side. Massage the lower back and the mid back. You can kind of play with flexing the foot a little bit. That can create a different sensation in the hip. Just find what feels good and spend some time there. Take a few deep breaths right there. And again, you're welcome to stay here as long as you would like. Feel free to pause the video. We'll just take one more breath. And when you're ready, on your exhale, we'll come back with our feet onto the ground, knees bent, and we'll come into our bridge pose. So set up for this, you want your hands to be able to slightly graze your heels, and you want to tuck your shoulders in just a bit to get that rotation of the shoulders. And you can kind of play with the hands if it feels comfortable leaving them flat like this, or you can interlace them behind the back, whatever feels good for you. So whenever you're ready, you'll press into the palms, press into the feet, lifting the hips up into your bridge pose. And we'll take 3 breaths right here. into bridge pose one more time. Bridge is great for also toning the buttocks, strengthening the lower back, and shoulder rotation as well. So if you want to try maybe interlacing your fingers this time, if you did that last time, maybe having your palms flat on the ground. We'll set up again. Make sure your shoulders are slightly tucked underneath you. Whenever you're ready, press into the feet and lift back up into your bridge. And just take a few breaths right here. Sinking into the pose, feeling the extension of the lower back, relaxing the neck. And on your exhale, we'll lower back down. And we'll do one more bridge. Whenever you're ready, press your palms and your feet into the ground and lift back up. Make sure your shoulders are slightly tucked underneath. And 2 more breaths right here. And on your next breath, slowly lower back down. And we're going to counterbalance that posture that we just did. So go ahead and release your feet back down to your mat. And use your hands to press up. We'll come into a seated forward fold or Paschimottanasana. You're welcome to grab the ankles. I like to grab the big toes so you can pull a little bit, or if you're able, grab the outsides of the feet or even your wrist. So you always want to fold on an exhale, kind of releasing the air from the diaphragm. So on your next exhale, extend the spine and slowly lower down into your forward fold. This can feel really good on the lower back after doing your back bends. And just sink into this forward fold for a few breaths. Relax the neck. And just breathe. And on your next exhale, lift back up. You can kind of play with opening the chest again after the forward fold. You can place your palms facing forward, fingertips facing your toes, and just kind of lift up through the chest to get a nice counter posture. And just stay here for 1 to 2 breaths. And when you're ready, lower back on to your back into your lying down posture. And we'll bend the knees, bringing them into Apanasana. This can feel really good on the lower back. Kind of just playing with moving them back and forth. Moving them at the same time. Just giving yourself a massage throughout the back. If you find a spot that may need a little more attention, you're welcome to stay there and give it some extra love. You can kind of sway from side to side. And shift back and forth between the legs, massaging the spine. Swaying back and forth, hugging the knees into the chest, curling up into a tiny little ball. And slowly release back down. Releasing your legs back onto the floor. We'll come into a supine twist to get the fluid moving and to massage the muscles of the back as well as the organs, the front body. body. So you'll start with your left leg. Use your right hand to guide your left knee over to the right, coming into this twisted posture, and bringing your left hand out beside you into a half T. And if it feels good for you, rotate your neck and look toward your fingertips. And you can make this more passive by just sinking into the pose, or if you want a more active posture, you can use your right hand to press into the knee while at the same time twisting your body deeper and getting a nice massage of the organs. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. And whenever you're ready, release the pose, bringing the knee back to center and releasing it back down. And we'll do the other side. You'll grab your right knee with the left hand and slowly guide it over to your right. Extending your right arm out into a half T and looking toward your right fingertips. A little more stretch, you can use the left hand to kind of guide the right knee a little deeper, and just breathe right here. And on your next inhale, you'll bring the knee back into center. Finding our way into our final resting pose, Shavasana. And notice if anything feels different. If your spine maybe feels a little more mobile, if it feels a little more relaxed, or if maybe you're feeling less pain in your lower back, or maybe even after all of the low back postures, if you're maybe feeling stronger in your core. Just notice the differences, or maybe it is a mental difference that you notice. In your Shavasana, just breathing and taking in the work that your body just did, and allowing it to fully take in all of the effects. And you're welcome to stay in your Shavasana for however long you would like. Feel free to pause the video and allow your body to go into maybe a longer meditation. If you're ready, we'll just take a few more breaths right here in this resting pose. And before our last breath, I invite you to say this mantra with me. Maybe you're still experiencing a little pain, whether it's chronic or just something that you've had for a little bit. You can say, I am free of tension. Just take a few deep breaths when you say it, and whenever you're feeling tension or pain throughout your day, you can come back to that mantra, pause, take a few breaths, and repeat, I am free of tension. Just a little reminder that you can be free of tension and back pain or whatever pain you may be experiencing when you slow down and breathe and give yourself a little time for this practice of self-care. Now, if you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, I invite you to lift your arms up overhead, point the toes, get a nice full body stretch. Just take a deep breath in this stretch. take a deep breath right here. And you'll slowly use your left hand to lift yourself back up, coming into a comfortable seated posture. Join me in bringing your palms together in Anjali Mudra. And thank you so much for joining me on your mat today in this practice of self-care. I hope that this sequence has relieved you of any pain or any tension that you have been experiencing. I encourage you to download the Yoga Plus app where you can join me on the mat for more classes. And in gratitude for yourself, for your body, for the work that it's done today, and for this practice, namaste.